Streaming 55 KRC on iHeartRadio.
Daily Wire is reporting today, new Gallup poll shows President Joe Biden slipping in a few key areas. Donald Trump seems to hold steady or improve on some of the issues. The biggest decline has come in the percentage of people believing that Joe Biden is able to manage the government effectively. But his scores are down at least 6 percentage points on each characteristic. So here's some of them. When it comes to likability, Biden still ranks higher than Donald Trump. 57% say the current president is likable. I find the guy creepy.
Oh, so do I.
So creepy.
So do I.
Compared to 37% who say the same thing about Trump.
Likable. He's despicable.
He also holds the upper hand on the question of being honest and trustworthy. 46% say Biden is the guy. 35% say Trump is.
Wow.
But when it comes to ability to lead, can manage the government effectively, 52% said Biden in 2020. 39% say it now. 48% in 2020 for Donald Trump. 49% now. Displays good judgment in a crisis. Biden slipped from 49% in 2020 to 40% in 2024. I'm shocked that it's that high. Trump moved up 1 point, 44 to 45%. Strong and decisive leadership. Biden again lost ground, falling from 46% in 2020 to 38% in 2024. Trump gained 1 percentage point again, going from 56 in 2020 to 57 in 2024. The overall assessment, according to Gallup, was the playing field is likely to level off some in 2024 because Biden appears to have lost at least some of the advantage he had in 2020 when he became the voters' view of his personal qualities were just so wonderful that everybody ran out to. Anyway.
Well, he was supposedly a moderate. If you remember, he was sold to us as a moderate.
I think we got everything and then some that we would have gotten from Hillary Clinton without the breaking power that would have been on Hillary Clinton.
Because people don't like her and they're leery of her and the whole Clinton clan. Yeah. I think that's true.
You can at least kind of stop them, and the media didn't like her,
right.
And I don't know if they would have gone, they probably would have, but I don't know if they would have gone as far in their water carrying.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it really makes a difference who the president is on the Democratic side, because they're just going to keep doing what they're doing. It's a master plan that they're going off of. All right, back final hour in just a minute.
The Glenn Beck Program.
Hi, it's Glenn Beck, and you're listening to Cincinnati's talk station, 55 KRC.
When I talk,
kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-863-5858. That's 1-800-863-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-863-5858. That's 1-800-863-5858.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/.
We may not always agree, but we can agree on one thing. 55 KRC is the talk station.
Open enrollment has come and gone. It doesn't matter. If you're in reasonably good health, you can apply anytime and save 30 to 60% of Obamacare rates without any penalties. Why keep giving hundreds and thousands of dollars a month to your insurance company and being responsible for the first $6,000 to $8,000 in expenses? Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. When choosing health insurance, you need to talk with an expert. Cover Cincy has been doing this in the Cincinnati area for over 20 years. You owe it to yourself to see if you qualify for a health coverage plan that dramatically saves you money with better coverage. Call the folks at Cover Cincy, 513-800-2255, or go to covercincy.com. That's covercincy, CINCY.com. A quality plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
55 WKRC Cincinnati.
Plans to ensure the return of firefighters in North College Hill are in limbo. Details in 2 minutes on 55 KRC, the talk station.
Just the news, just the facts. Now covering the world from the 55 KRC News Center.
It's sentencing day in Michigan for James and Jennifer Crumley, the parents of Oxford High School shooter Ethan Crumley. Both were convicted in separate trials on 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter for the November 2021 shooting deaths of 4 students and will be sentenced together.
A lot of judges want to hear. Remember, you're convicted now. They want to hear what you have to say. They want to hear remorse, and they want to hear contrition. They want to see you apologize.
That is criminal defense attorney Neil Rockheim. The couple face a maximum sentence of 15 years in prison, and the Oxford County Prosecutor's Office is recommending at least 10 years for each. Their son pled guilty to all charges and is serving life in prison without parole. The next total solar eclipse that will be seen in the contiguous U.S. won't be until 2044. Yesterday, millions traveled to the Path of Totality, which spanned from Texas up through a dozen states before ending in Maine. Others just took a moment out of their day to witness the rare cosmic event of the moon temporarily blocking out the sun.
You're literally watching like cosmic bodies in orbit from like the point of view of the planet, and that is just like beyond cool to be able to see that perspective.
Senator Lindsey Graham is going against former President Trump on abortion. The South Carolina Republican said yesterday he respectfully disagrees with Trump's statement that abortion should be a states' rights issue. He adds he'll continue to advocate that there should be a national minimum standard limiting abortion at 15 weeks because the child is capable of feeling pain. And another round of severe weather is threatening the South and parts of the Mississippi Valley. Storms are expected to bring damaging winds, hail, flooding, and tornadoes today through Thursday from eastern Texas to the southwest coast. I'm Michael Kastner.
Now a return on your listening investment. More from the Steve Perrins Coordinated Financial Planning Studios. This is 55 KRC, the talk station, an iHeart radio station.
I'm Taryn Johnson with your 55 KRC Tri-State News Update. The future of a deal to bring back 3/4 of the North College Hill firefighters who threatened to walk off the job last month is stuck in limbo. Mayor Tracy Nichols says she helped reach an agreement with the fire department, but council and city administration have not been able to agree what that legislation would look like, why it's necessary, or whether its passage could be detrimental to balancing budgets. Mayor Nichols adding that the legislation on bringing back the firefighters is purely in the council's hands, and it should be considered at the next council meeting next week on April 15th. A teenager arrested over the weekend in the shooting death of a 21-year-old man in Mount Auburn. Cincinnati police arrested the 17-year-old on Saturday in connection to the death of Benjamin Addison, a UC student who was shot outside his vehicle on Highland Avenue last month on March 30th. The Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office says they want to try the suspect as an adult, and Addison's family is agreeing with that decision. I'm Taryn Johnson. The forecast is next on 55 KRC, the talk station.
You've never been to an event like this. I'm Spencer Ford, CEO, wealth advisor, and certified financial planner professional with Conservative Financial Solutions. I want to invite you to an event that's all about you, the challenges that you face, the questions you have, the information that could build a successful retirement. At Conservative Financial Solutions, our ultimate goal is to be the leader in helping families make great decisions so they can live longer, happier, and more fulfilling lives. That process starts at one of our monthly no-cost dinner events. Don't deny yourself the opportunity to get information that could put you in a better place to achieve your retirement goals. Visit us at conservativefinancialsolutions.com. That's conservativefinancialsolutions.com to sign up. We look forward to meeting you and helping you build the future that you desire.
Securities offered only by duly registered individuals through Madison Avenue Securities LLC, MAS, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory products and services made available through AE Wealth Management LLC, AEWM, a registered investment advisor. MAS and Conservative Financial Solutions are not affiliated companies.
55 KRC.
Tired of painting the exterior of your home every few years? Well, I've been telling you about Rhino Shield for the past several years, and 5 years ago we had it done to the Sullivan home. We couldn't be happier. They matched the colors we wanted, and their crew was great. It's not paint, it's better, and it makes your home more energy efficient. It comes with a transferable 25-year warranty, so call now. Save 15% off the regular price. That's 15% discount for a limited time. Call 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41. You'll love the results.
55 KRC, Tri-State Weather.
I'm meteorologist Raven Richards. Starting off mostly cloudy and dry. We'll see spotty showers for the afternoon with a high of 66. That rain fades tonight, low 55. Rain likely for your Wednesday. Thunderstorms possible with a high of 65. More rain Thursday and Friday. That's your 9 First Warning forecast on 55 KRC.
This report is sponsored by McCabe Lumber.
Gary Sullivan from McCabe Lumber. Starting April 13th to May 4th, McCabe Lumber brings back their best deals of the year. So join us on April 13th when McCabe Lumber kicks off their Deck Expo. Vendors on site and enjoy a grill out with food and drinks. All deliveries to be taken by June 14th.
The highs.
The border right now is truly unprecedented.
The stakes are getting higher.
The lows.
There's more work to be done to lower costs.
What has this administration done? We need a new president.
And happening in the middle?
Mom, we gotta go.
Your busy life. We meet you in the middle with the information you need.
What's happening in our country today?
Highs, lows, and everything happening in between. It's life heard every day.
Turn on the news.
55 KRC, the talk station.
Welcome to the fusion of entertainment and enlightenment. This is the Glenn Beck Program.
Hello, America. I want to talk to you a little bit about being a second-class citizen or a third-world civilization. Because I think that's what we're headed towards. Right now, some people feel like second-class citizenship. Their police in New York are not stopping illegals now with expired plates or anything else. Not stopping them. No ticket for you. Oh, that's second-class citizenship for the rest of us. And honestly, aren't we building now a third-world country? Does it feel like even your life, not your children's life, your life is going to get better from here or worse with the policies? Batya Ungar Sargon is the author of Second Class. She's a Newsweek opinion editor. She's been on the program a couple of times before, I believe. She is laying out how the woke media is undermining our democracy. That was her last book. This one is how the elites are betraying America's working men and women. This is not a fight against left and right. I believe this is a fight from the regular class of people against the elites, and it's happening all over the world. We'll get her ideas on this coming up in 60 seconds. First, preborn. Trapped, terrified, back against the wall. These are the words that describe how Matt and Ariel felt when they found out that she was unexpectedly pregnant. Trapped, terrified, back against the wall. In a society like ours, both the easy path and the right path are available. Still unsure what they were going to do, Matt and Ariel came across a preborn clinic, and thank God they chose the right path for their now newborn daughter. Everything that enters your mind when you hear the words Planned Parenthood, preborn is the opposite of that. They offer free ultrasounds. In cases like this, they also give life-saving care. They offer assistance to the mom and to the husband as well for up to 2 years after the baby is born, so they don't feel trapped and overwhelmed and their back is against the wall. Last year, they saved 58,000 babies because of people just like you. If you have the means, would you consider a leadership gift to help babies in a big way? Your tax-deductible donation of $5,000 will sponsor Preborn's entire network nationwide for 24 hours. That could rescue 200 babies. To donate securely, dial pound 250. Say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Beck. That's preborn.com/Beck. By the way, Preborn has a 100% charity rating, so you can give with confidence. Sponsored by Preborn. Batya, welcome to the Glenn Beck program. How are you?
Oh, man, thank you so much for having me back, Glenn. It's such a pleasure to be here with you.
You bet, you bet. So I have been saying for a while now, as I'm looking at what the Western world, the elites, are doing to their own countries and our own civilization, they are impoverishing people. They are giving our stuff away to other people. And I mean that in Europe and here where illegals are just permeating the country and the jobs are going there. They're disarming us. They're selling us bound and gagged to our foe. It feels like. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, 100%. Glenn, you've been on this for such a long time because you're so clear-eyed about this. There has been a massive plunder of the middle class by the elites. First, they shipped good manufacturing jobs overseas to build up China and Mexico's middle class. Then they said they're not coming back, right? We're never going to get those jobs back. If you want the American dream, you have to go to college where you'll become, a card-carrying Democrat, right? And now they opened the border and brought in 15 million illegal migrants from failed socialist states to undercut the wages in the jobs that remained here. And it's because fundamentally to the elites, there's no difference between being working class and being poor. They want everybody to be poor because they control the college educated and the poor. That is why they're trying to get everybody out of the middle class and either into the college credentialed, leftist elites or to make them poor because that's how the Democrats win.
So, wow, I've never heard that opinion before, I think, where they are intentionally doing it because they can control the poor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, otherwise it makes no sense, right? I mean, where does the contempt for the working class come from? Where does this plunder come from? Why would they have sold out labor, right? Remember, the Democrats used to represent labor. Why would they now be so committed to making working class people poor with these policies that you talk about all the time, Glenn? Opening the border, bringing in massive amounts of competition for the working class. Like, who would do such a thing, right? And it's not on accident, Glenn. Of course, this was all intentional. Joe Biden
amazing to me also that the labor unions are part of it. I mean, the Democrats were always for labor, you say. They were always, they did seem to represent the working class much more, but it was their love of the labor unions. The labor unions are still with them as they are helping them dismantle American jobs.
100%. And I think that's why you see only 6% of the private sector is unionized. Working class Americans, they may want the wages and the protections that unions can get their members, but they see the unions actively supporting the party and the policy of importing their competition. And so they don't see a future for themselves in the labor unions. And, Joe Biden likes to say he's the most pro-union president to ever, rule. Well, maybe that's true, but the unions themselves are no longer able to represent their actual members.
Correct.
Although I have to say, I thought it was great that Trump went and met with the Teamsters and that he got a donation for the RNC from the Teamsters, because it shows that the Teamsters are listening to rank and file, who of course prefer Trump.
So you say that the working class in America is super diverse, but united on the policies that they think would make their lives better. And you say that is true whether you're a Republican or Democrat. Where is that unity on policy? What are those policies?
Right. So for my book, Second Class, How the Elites Betrayed America's Working Men and Women, I traveled around the country for a year interviewing working class Americans of all races, of all backgrounds and religions, and many, many, many different industries, totally across the country. And what I found was so much more unites them than divides them.
Yeah.
First of all, polarization. A totally elite phenomenon. And I know your listeners know this because I know you have a strong working class listenership. They know that they would never hate their neighbor just because they happen to vote for another party. They hate both parties, by the way. There's a lot of contempt for the elites in the political class who love to go to Washington and fight with each other, pretend they're fighting with each other while both parties, have turned their backs on labor. Here's what I found was the most common views. So I met a lot of people, including a lot of Christians, who had a gay person in their life who they wanted to be treated with respect, but they were extremely worried about the transgender agenda. I met a lot of people who were really unhappy about how much welfare there is and knew people who were scamming the system, and they were very frustrated by that. But they also really didn't like that corporations seemed to them to be, against their interests, and that there was so much support for corporations and not for them. They were very against immigration. Most of the people I interviewed, including the Democrats, wanted something like a total moratorium on immigration, but they also felt like there should be some sort of government-backed catastrophic health care. They couldn't stand the idea that they work with their hands and their bodies in physical labor and they can't afford good health care. So you see how their views are they united the working class, but neither party really aligns with those set of views.
So how come, because you would say, I don't want to make this into a partisan thing, but I think I have to. When you're looking at Donald Trump, that describes him respect for gay people. He's the first president to ever have gay people openly speak at the convention. He's very open to that, but he is also doesn't want to be harmful to transgender people, but is against all of this craziness. When it comes to they're very against immigration. That is huge, and that's Donald Trump. How is it that you don't see Democrats looking at some of these big items and say, okay, well, clearly this side is totally against everything I really believe in? How come the Democrats?
We're definitely seeing that. Trump is now polling at 35% of black men. He's going to get much more than that. So in 2020, he was polling at 8% of black men and he got 18%. He's now polling at 35% of black men. He's got the majority of Hispanics polling for him. We're seeing a mass defection of working class people of color away from the Democrats who are actively undermining them and their future towards Donald Trump. I'll tell you something else, Glenn. Donald Trump is the consensus candidate that Joe Biden pretended he was going to be.
Yeah.
You are so right. His entire agenda is right at the 50-yard line. It's where 70% of Americans are and 0% of the elites. So we are seeing mass defection from the Democrats to Donald Trump in the working class, and we're seeing the elites, the Nikki Haley GOP elites will probably vote for Joe Biden. That's the political realignment that we're seeing. The rich are moving towards the Democrats or have moved to the Democrats, including conservative rich people. I bet you. We know that Wall Street gave more money to Joe Biden than they did to Donald Trump. That's not an accident. So I think you're completely right about that.
Well, not all rich people support Joe Biden. I don't know that. So the elites, at what point do you think we break through the ice on people realizing that it's not Donald Trump and Joe Biden, that it is truly the elites against, people who just say, hey, can you pay attention to us in America first? Can you just... Can you not continue to just put me underwater? When are we going to break through that and stop playing the left-right game and realize it's these people who think they're better than us that are just trying to put their foot on our neck all the time?
I think that this election is going to come down to the working class, and I think it's going to become totally unignorable after that. The question is what happens after that. These working class people are not voting for the Republicans. They're voting for Donald Trump.
Correct.
And if the GOP wants to keep these voters, they have to stop pushing tax cuts over everything else, and they have to start listening to the working class. I interviewed 100 people, and 25 of them are quoted at great length in my book, Second Class. You want to hear how working class people who agree with you about woke and agree with you about conservative values, but very much need an economic agenda. They need the GOP to stop pimping them out on the altar of the woke ideas that they agree with, but that, tickle the pickle of the conservative elites, right? And start creating an economic agenda for the working class. The first party that gets to that combination of healthcare plus controlling immigration is going to have a ruling majority.
Badia, thank you so much for being on. The name of the book again is really all about everything that we're doing right now, everything you're feeling right now. It's called Second Class. Batia, thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you. My Patriot Supply is our sponsor. 3 questions we ask when it comes to bad things happening in our country's future. If, when, and what. I think you'd agree that we already know the answer to the first one. When is getting shorter all the time, and what? It might be easier to answer what won't happen. Are you and your family prepared yet? If, when, what? Your first step is going to mypatriotsupply.com. Stock up on multiple 1-week emergency food kits this week only. A week's worth of food for one member of your family, priced at under $50. This time is the time to buy it in bulk. Look, we're literally looking down the barrel of another potential world war right now, not to mention everything else that could go wrong. Don't get caught off guard. My Patriot Supply is equipped to help you prepare. They've already helped 2 million families already. These 1-week kits are ready with our foods. They provide over 2,000 calories every day. They're sealed in a rugged ammo can when they come. They last 25 years in storage. Grab and go emergencies. Get the kits now for $50 this week only at mypatriotsupply.com. That's mypatriotsupply.com. 10 seconds, station ID.
55 KRC.
So let me ask you, Pat. If you were part of a campaign and you were hemorrhaging African Americans, and your candidate said, now, wait a minute, just hear me out on this. We're losing African Americans. What do you think if we delay the ban on menthol cigarettes for a few months?
I think
healthy.
Yeah. I think you're going to explode in popularity. Among minority voters.
Yeah. I mean, it is so unbelievable what they think about minority voters. So the FDA has been working to ban menthol cigarettes for 2 years now, and it just moved to delay the finalization of the ban until after the election. So the message here is, look, you're black, you smoke menthol, I'm your friend until after the election. That's crazy. When you're down to menthol cigarettes, you are not a healthy candidate.
That's something I didn't even know about black voters. Did you know that they're big menthol cigarette smokers? I had no idea.
When I smoked, I loved menthol. I loved Newport menthol. That's what I smoked. And they're just like, it's like buying a little, just a little paper bag with a hole that goes in your lung. I love them, and I've always heard that was a black brand, that menthol especially. I don't know.
Didn't know it.
So
I'm glad they're going to fix that, though, for him.
Oh.
Until after the election anyway. Yeah. Jeez.
Holy cow, are you in trouble?
Incredible.
You are absolutely in trouble if that's your thing.
Between that and the voter ID situation, they don't know who minorities are.
No. You're not black if you don't vote for Joe Biden.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. You just ain't. Yeah. I'm sorry. You ain't black. Mm-hmm. You ain't black. A word he uses all
the time. Sure.
A lot. He's not pandering there. You ain't black if you vote for anybody but Joe Biden, and you ain't black unless you want a menthol cigarette. So, my gosh, how low is their view of people?
And that might be one indication of why black voters are turning against the Democrat Party.
Yeah, I think maybe I think maybe
that has something to do with it.
Yeah, maybe something. That and I can't find a job.
Yeah, that might hurt too.
That might play a role in it. I don't know. By the way, on Wednesday at 8 p.m., we all learned at an early age the best way to get rich in America is what? Work hard. Build a better mousetrap. Work your way up from the mailroom to the CEO. You can make money. Go to Wall Street. Be a success in something and make money. No, that is not the way you make money here in America anymore. Now you just need to become an elite and go to Congress. Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, join me. That's tomorrow night for a live pre-show event that is going to be hosted by me and James Polis. It's followed by the live premiere of Bought and Paid For, How Politicians Get Filthy Rich. It's streaming on YouTube and blazetv.com. Head on over to blazetv.com and grab your subscription, or go to youtube.com/@blazetv. This is an incredible investigatory documentary that will really open your eyes on how criminal Congress really is. You want to know why these people come and we're just servants and they leave unbelievably wealthy? You want to know why Nancy Pelosi's husband is some genius traitor who just can, because I think they're spelling traitor the wrong way. Except not really, because Congress has made it all legal for them to do the things that come with a prison term for you. It's time to stop. Enough is enough. Make sure you join us tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Bought and Paid For, How Politicians Get Filthy Rich.
Glenn Beck.
William wrote in about his experience with Relief Factor. He says, I just cannot believe I'm not hurting anymore after using Relief Factor. I've been in pain for 40 years, but today I'm pain-free. I tell all of my friends about it. Relief Factor is great. William, thank you for listening. Thank you for giving Relief Factor a chance. It doesn't work for everybody. 70% of the people who try it, they go on to order more. That means 30% it just doesn't do anything for you. But it's not a drug. It's not something that you take and you're like, I feel better right now. This is a supplement. That's why they want to give you a 3-week quick start. You take it as directed for 3 weeks and see if you're not feeling the difference in your body. Fight pain by fighting the inflammation and do it drug-free. See how Relief Factor can help you with their 3-week quick start. $19.95 comes with Relief Factor's Feel Better, your money-back guarantee. So give it a try. ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4-RELIEF. That's 800-4-RELIEF. When you feel the difference, you know it works. ReliefFactor.com.
Glenn Beck, Stuper Gear, Steve Deace, Jason Whitlock, and me, Pat Gray. Listen to all your favorite conservative voices at blazetv.com. Promo code Glenn.
.55 KRC.
In this week's Marketers Report, Angela Zepeda, CMO Hyundai Motor America, discusses measuring audio.
The measurement capability within audio, I think, surprised all of us. We have seen a huge return on our investment. Seeing real numbers has helped us continue to invest.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the data, audiences, and influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Terracon Consultants Incorporated seeks senior staff engineer in Cincinnati, Ohio to prepare cost estimates, specifications, and other civil engineering project-related documents. Apply at jobpostingtoday.com. Reference number 48756. Again, Terracon Consultants Incorporated seeks senior staff engineer in Cincinnati, Ohio to prepare cost estimates, specifications, and other civil engineering project-related documents. Apply at jobpostingtoday.com. Reference number 48756. Again, Terracon Consultants Incorporated seeks senior staff engineer in Cincinnati, Ohio.
They're modern-day con artists, and they're the focus of Creating a Con, a true crime anthology podcast. Season 1 spotlights Ray Trapani and his tech startup scam, endorsed by DJ Khaled and Floyd Mayweather, and built on empty promises and millions from bilked investors.
If someone's like, oh, what's your best way of making money? I don't think start a business. I'm like, oh, we should start some sort of scheme, and I can't help it.
Listen to Creating a Con on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Creating a Con.
Low testosterone affects many men today, even men as young as 30. But finding someone you can trust for quality low T treatment isn't so easy. This is Jeff, the CEO and one of the founders of Tri-State Men's Health, and I'm excited to announce the opening of our newest Tri-State Men's Health location right here in Northern Kentucky. Because as a Promenic affiliate, Tri-State Men's Health has the experience and expertise to get you the right treatment for your particular medical situation. Tri-State Men's Health is the leader in treating low testosterone. In fact, we've successfully treated thousands of men for low T and seen the amazing impacts low T treatments have. If you're like most men, you'll sleep better, have more energy and improved mental clarity, get better gains in the gym, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. So call us. Just $99 to get you a PSA and T test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654, or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Hey guys, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than what we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back. But what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with a proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SECURE to 989898. I trust Birch Gold. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantaged status. So text SECURE to 989898. That's SECURE to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
I'm Johnny B. Good, the host of the podcast Creating a Con, the story of Bitcoin. This podcast dives deep into the story of Ray Trapani and his company, Centratech. I'll explore how 3 20-somethings built a company out of lies, deceit, and greed.
I've been saying since a very young age, that I was going to be a millionaire. If someone's like, oh, what's your best way of making money? I'm like, oh, we should start some sort of scheme.
Listen to Creating a Con, the story of Bitcoin, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Everybody buckle up. Buckle up.
Let's go.
Buckle up.
Can we go to the store? Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Everybody, buckle up.
A lot goes on in the car, but you're in control. So only move when you hear the click that says they're buckled in. Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Here's the very latest from around the globe from the 55 KRC News Center.
The parents of Michigan high school shooter Ethan Crumley are set to be sentenced soon. James and Jennifer Crumley, both convicted in separate trials on 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter for the November 2021 shooting deaths of 4 students. They'll be sentenced together. They face a maximum sentence of 15 years in prison. The next solar eclipse that will be seen in the contiguous U.S. won't be until 2044. Yesterday, millions traveled to the path of totality, which spanned from Texas up through a dozen states before ending in Maine, to watch the rare event of the moon temporarily blocking out the sun. Morgan Wallen is facing 3 felony counts after an incident in downtown Nashville. Chloe Malayas with the latest.
The singer was released after posting an over $15,000 bond. He now faces felony charges for reckless endangerment and disorderly conduct.
The 30-year-old country music superstar allegedly threw a chair from Eric Church's newly opened rooftop bar Sunday night. I'm Michael Kastner.
55 KRC, Tri-State weather. I'm meteorologist Raven Richards. Starting off mostly cloudy and dry. We'll see spotty showers for the afternoon with a high of 66. That rain fades tonight, low 55. Rain likely for your Wednesday. Thunderstorms possible with a high of 65. More rain Thursday and Friday. That's your 9 Freeze warning forecast on 55 KRC.
Looking at your 401k can be a scary thing these days. Get the latest from Simply Money, presented by Allworth Financial. Weeknights at 6 on 55 KRC, the talk station.
I like to follow the science. But I don't think science follows the science anymore. Maybe it's just me. And I'd like just maybe a weekend. Maybe we do a scientist movie weekend. And we watch things like Jurassic Park. And then we talk about, hey, the woolly mammoth. I'm not sure that's a good idea to bring it back. What do you think? We watch all kinds of different movies like Fahrenheit 451 or 1984. And then we talk a little bit about politics, and freedoms. I'm not sure which one we would have to watch, what movie we would have to watch. But I think we should stop this one. The USS Hornet is decommissioned. It's an aircraft carrier. But it's a new launch site for a war in the skies. The Marine Cloud Brightening Program, the Coastal Atmospheric Aerosol Research and Engagement Project, led researchers from the University of Washington. They took to the deck of the Hornet Tuesday to launch streams of particles into the sky above the San Francisco Bay. The ultimate objective is to block and reflect sunlight in hopes of limiting global warming. I don't think we do that. I mean, that's just me. I'm not a scientist. I just right off the gut, hey, Mr. President, do we spray aerosol in? My first question would be like, what? Wait, wasn't aerosol bad?
Yeah, hole in the ozone comes to mind?
Yeah, but no. We've got a new aerosol. It's going to just block the sun. No, I don't think we do that. No, I'm going to go with a big negatory on that one. Researchers behind the geoengineering scheme opted not to announce their experiment. No. Reportedly citing concerns that there might be significant backlash. Okay, that's another thing. I'm just saying, if you're on the right side, you don't usually say, let's do this without anybody knowing about it. Let's just keep this between us, okay? What we're going to do is we're just going to, I don't know, block the rays of the sun. But some people, they're crazy. They're going to have a problem with that. So let's just keep that to ourselves. You're on the wrong side. Clearly on the wrong side. Okay, so apparently the American public wouldn't like this. Who would have thunk that? And especially the peoples of Alameda, which, you're spraying aerosol over my area, and it's to block the sun. I don't know. I might like the scientists to run that by my city council, just very least. Hey, Saturday, we're just going to spray stuff up into the sky and try to block the sun.
How about no?
Yeah, do we need the city council meeting for that? I really don't think so. But the good news is they did it with a U.S. aircraft carrier and the United States government behind it, and like, hey, don't worry about it. It's kind of like one of those no-brainers. Like, what do you think if we take a bunch of black men and just infect them with syphilis and then just watch what happens?
Yeah, we don't tell anybody about the experiment in advance.
I think we should stop that.
We
did. We did. But apparently we don't learn from our past. Wow. So the clouds that they're making with the aerosol bounce some of the sun's rays back into space. Now, we don't know if that will make the sun heat up like a giant mirror back to the sun. We could obliterate the sun. We don't know because, we don't know. This supposedly is going to help cool the area. Now, I've been to San Francisco, okay? There's not a place that is more in line with the thought of, I don't know, why don't we just experiment with the city? I mean, it's kind of a crap hole right now. But I'd prefer not to do that. Now, there are other places like, I don't know, the desert where no one lives. Now, I know you can't get the aircraft carrier there, but maybe you put it on the back of a truck and you do it over someplace that nobody's living under. Still kind of have a problem with it, but it would be better
over a less populated area, not at all populated area,
not at all populated. Yeah,
Sahara Desert, for instance.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like, you know what? We can't tell anybody about this because the Germans are trying to build one, but we're doing the Manhattan Project. Except we're actually going to make it and explode it over Manhattan just to see what happens. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. So, anyway, the Cloud Aerosol Research Instrument, it's a device that has multiple nozzles and resembles a snowmaker, and apparently can fire trillions of salt particles into the air.
Trillions of salt particles?
Yeah. Once emitted, such particles would only remain airborne in the atmosphere for a few days. So then it starts raining salt. And they say that 15% of the Earth's marine clouds will be artificially brightened, the salt, and the globe might cool by approximately 1 degree. Now, I'm old enough to remember when we were all afraid of global cooling and the ice age was coming. And I remember being terrified, follow the science, that we were all going to freeze to death very soon. Remember that?
Yeah. And for the same reason, CO2.
Yeah. We were all
going to freeze us to death.
We're all going to die in some sort of woolly mammoth sort of way. So I want to thank them for the terrors of my childhood, like we didn't have enough to deal with nuclear war. Oh, good thing that's back. So I remember I think it was 1971 or 72, some of the same people that are still kicking around, still, trying to develop our global warming, cooling, climate change policy, they came up with a really good idea. They were going to take coal soot, and they were going to sprinkle it, airdrop it all over the polar caps, because the sun's rays would, be attracted to the black because the sun's not racist. And so it's like, black, I got to be there and warm it up. And so all of the ice would melt, which would stop us from freezing to death, which they didn't do, and we didn't die. I would like to suggest that before we start doing things like, because the other idea, I don't know if you've heard this one, is we're going to, and I'm not making this up, we're going to launch a giant umbrella into space. And that giant umbrella will block some of the sun's rays as it comes towards Earth. And we can open or close that umbrella. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if it has a talking parrot at the end and Julie Andrews is involved, but it seems magical. Maybe we shouldn't do that. But that's just me.
That'd have to be a pretty big umbrella, I'm thinking.
Big. Yeah. Big umbrella.
Very, very large.
Big umbrella. Yeah, very large.
Like Earth-sized umbrella?
Well, no, not Earth-sized, but big.
Large.
Yeah, large.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you have to push that little button thing, on the handle to expand it, but it will expand, and then it will.
Definitely want to wait till you're outdoors to do that.
It's like, yeah. Right. Yeah. It's like a big sun umbrella, It's like like you're at the pool, except you're not. You're in space.
Right.
And there's no beach or anything. No one can hear you scream there. And we open up the umbrella to block the sun. Again, I don't think that's a good idea. By the way, China is working on another idea because, people tend to go to sleep at night, and you waste a lot of energy when the sun goes down. Am I right or am I right?
You're right.
Sun goes down,
right.
It's either candles, or electricity, and neither are good. They both global warming. So they're talking about launching a giant mirror into space.
To reflect the rays of the sun.
So, yes, it would be positioned so just off to the side, so it would still get the sun as the Earth was rotating. And then it would reflect light right there the whole time. So the sun would never really go down. Well, it would never be dark. Never be entirely dark. It'd be kind of creepy like it was yesterday in the solar eclipse. It would be, not quite the sun, but not dark.
Sort of like Alaska during the summer.
Yes. Kind of like that, except artificially done.
Yeah.
And just to
good idea.
Just to keep workers working.
Another good idea.
Right?
Yeah.
I
like that.
When they say follow the science, that's all we're doing here.
That's all we're
it's
doing.
All science.
They've got some really good ideas.
Yeah. And we should follow it right over that cliff.
You're listening to the swinging sounds of Glenn Beck. Sit tight, boys and girls. We'll be right back after these messages.
55 KRC, the talk station.
Who's there for our heroes or the families left behind when a service member or first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty? And who helps our nation to never forget 9/11?